ボストンを拠点として活躍するジャーナリストのジュンリー氏が自身のチャンネルにベースボール復活の理由と未来の動画を公開しました。動画内で大谷翔平の存在の大きさが描かれ、コメント欄には数多くの大谷愛を綴るファンで溢れました。動画とコメントの一部を訳してご紹介します。
Thought baseball was slow, static, easy to ignore. But then something changed.
Oh my goodness! Shohei Ohtani! Wow!
And then this started happening. Attendance climbed for 3 straight years for the first time since 2007. Last year, the World Series drew its biggest audience in 8 years. The average ticket buyer has gotten 6 years younger. So how did this actually happen? Because to understand how baseball got here, you have to understand a few things. What went wrong, what baseball actually fixed, what the rest of the world changed around it, and more important than that, is it going to be able to last? One of the things that people don't really talk about with this era of baseball that everyone complained about was too slow, was that the baseball was incredible. Mike Trout was putting up the best numbers anyone had seen in a generation. Bryce Harper was living up to all the hype that came with being a teenage prodigy. Mookie Betts was one of the sport's most dynamic players in years. I spent years in sports media trying to figure out how to make Mike Trout interesting, and it was genuinely hard. This was a guy who was arguably the most talented player that baseball had seen since Willie Mays. But his biggest hobby off the field, the most interesting thing about his personality, was that outside of baseball, he liked studying the weather, which, to be fair, is a completely valid hobby, but isn't really something you can market an entire sport around. This wasn't a talent problem. Baseball was quietly in the middle of one of the deepest talent eras it had ever produced. The sport just had trouble getting people to notice. Jake Mintz and Jordan Schusterman cover baseball for Yahoo Sports.
I'm looking at wins above replacement from 2010 to 2015. If you look at the top 13 players, only one of them, and that's Robinson Cano, is playing in what you would call one of the top 5 markets. So you have Trout, great player, not this effervescent, outgoing personality, and I think MLB didn't really know how to best market that.
And that problem reaching fans was about to get much, much worse. In 2003, Michael Lewis wrote a book called Moneyball. Brad Pitt played Billy Beane in the movie. Jonah Hill was the nerd with the laptop. The book was about the Oakland A's using statistics to find undervalued players and compete with teams that had 10 times their payroll. So every team optimized for the 3 outcomes the math loved most: walk, strikeout, home run. Games got longer, balls in play got rarer. The sport optimized for winning, but nobody optimized for watching. MLB knew. They knew for years. Commissioners talked about pace of play going back to the mid-2000s. The analytics arms race was visible to anyone paying attention. The sport had solved the wrong puzzle, and everyone inside the sport could see it. They just didn't do anything about it. Which brings us to this question. Why not?
As this problem was reaching its peak, we didn't care. We were like, this is our favorite sport. We're trying to make a career in this. Like, we were like, oh my God, this is so great. What's the problem? Oh yeah, the game's long. Who cares? Like, I'm not bored.
We were also 23 and not married and didn't have hobbies. I'm up till 2? Sure.
Because of how baseball's economics are structured, a lot of owners don't actually need to win to make money, which is a topic I covered in an earlier video on this channel. MLB has no salary cap, it has revenue sharing, it has a luxury tax that operates as a soft ceiling instead of a hard one, and has local media rights deals that, until recently, paid teams a guaranteed check regardless of how many people actually watch, which meant for a 20-year stretch, it was completely rational from a return on investment standpoint for a lot of teams to be quietly mediocre and quietly profitable. If you owned a baseball team that made $40 million a year without you ever contending or trying to get into the playoffs, why would you spend $250 million a year to try to win the World Series? From a business perspective, this decision doesn't make a lot of sense to actually spend on a team that is good. By the late 2010s, cord cutting was gutting the bundle. By the early 2020s, the regional sports networks that owned baseball's local rights were going bankrupt. Diamond Sports, which operated the Bali channels carrying 14 different MLB teams, filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy in 2023. And suddenly, the business model that had insulated baseball from the cultural shift for 2 decades was gone. It also meant the sport was struggling to attract fans under the age of 35. There was a narrative that baseball was dying, But that's not the entire story, because the talent was there. The product was world class. The issue was that the system to distribute and have fans actually watch baseball was broken. And as a result, the fans weren't there in the numbers that they used to be. And the owners didn't really have an incentive to fix it until the system truly broke. In 2023, Major League Baseball did something it had been resisting for decades. It admitted the game was broken. Not the baseball part, the experience part, to 2 hours and 38 minutes. 3 straight seasons under 2 hours and 40 minutes, something that hasn't happened since Ronald Reagan was in the White House for his first term. And in my opinion, this is the most successful rules intervention in American sports history in the last 100 years. The NFL has been tinkering with kickoffs and pass interference for 20 years, and nobody can agree whether the game is better or worse. The NBA legalized hand checking, banned hand checking, and then introduced the three-point line. Basketball fans argue about every single one of those calls forever. MLB changed 4 rules in one offseason, and nobody, the players, the fans, the traditionalists, can really argue the product isn't better.
The whole Manfred tenure of all the issues and all the problems, and of which there have been many, and of which there still will be to come, that are worthy of plenty of honest discussion and criticism and everything. The legacy is going to be the legacy, and the legacy is going to be that the baseball was pitch clock and all these other rule changes. That's what I think is going to be remembered in 10, 20, 30 years. And
the rule changes were baseball finally saying out loud, the people watching the games matter. How they experience watching the game matters. And it was one of the most important things that baseball has done in the sport's entire history. And then at exactly the moment baseball was fixing its product, the sport produced the most improbable star in its history. And then at exactly the moment baseball was fixing its product, the sport produced the most improbable star in its history. Shohei Ohtani is not a baseball player. He is a baseball anomaly. He pitches at the highest level in the world. He hits at the highest level in the world. He does both things in the same game, which nobody has done at this level since Babe Ruth 100 years ago. And Ruth stopped pitching at 24 because it was too hard. Ohtani does it in his 30s, coming off 2 elbow reconstructions and a league full of pitchers throwing 100 miles an hour. Ohtani is one of the greatest athletes that we have ever seen in human history. But at the same time, he's also the perfect athlete for Major League Baseball, meeting this specific media moment.
Ohtani Judge are so easy to understand. Their greatness does not need a second level of baseball knowledge to comprehend. That guy's so big. He hits it real far. That guy plays both positions. Thanks for tuning in. You know? Whereas, for me to explain the magic of Ben Zobrist, I need an hour.
But the most important thing Ohtani did for baseball is making the Los Angeles Dodgers into a global franchise. 50% of Japanese sports fans now describe themselves as interested in Major League Baseball. Of the Japanese fans who follow MLB, 59% say the Dodgers are their favorite team. The Yankees are second at 14%. The Cubs are third at 9%. Game 7 of the 2025 World Series drew 12 million viewers in Japan. The entire World Series averaged more than 10 million Japanese viewers per game. Baseball's recovery is arguably more dependent on one player than any other sport in history. The only comparisons are Magic Johnson and Larry Bird for the NBA in the 1980s, and that led into Michael Jordan in the 1990s. Ohtani has done this pretty much by himself. And then there's also the Savannah Bananas. They're not an casual fans. The third fault line is a person. Shohei Ohtani is 31 years old. He had his elbow reconstructed twice. He's coming off a 2025 season in which he played most of the year as a designated hitter and gingerly eased back onto the mound in the second half. This year, he said he's going for a Cy Young Award. He is still on any given night the most exciting player in baseball. He's also running out the clock on the most improbable athletic career of the last 100 years. So much of Major League Baseball's cultural recovery has been dependent on him. And when Ohtani declines because Father Time is absolutely undefeated, what's going to replace him? Because there's not an obvious replacement for Shohei Ohtani. There might not ever be another Shohei Ohtani. And then there's the fourth fault line, the one that scares me the most, the one that I think about the most. In November 2025, federal prosecutors indicted two Cleveland Guardians pitchers, Emmanuel Clase and Luis Ortiz, for allegedly rigging individual pitches inside live Major League Baseball games. Not outcomes, not games, not even live at-bats. Specific individual pitches. Balls thrown outside the strike zone on purpose so that gamblers working with the pitchers could profit on the micro bets. The sport is now openly discussing integrity in a way that it hasn't had to since the Black Sox and Pete Rose scandals. The same structure that made baseball work again, small, believable moments, is exactly what gambling is breaking. And this is why I think gambling is the most dangerous of the fault lines. Baseball's recovery story is a story about the sport recovering trust. People believe and enjoy the rule changes because they believe that what they're seeing on the field is real. People love Shohei Ohtani because they believe that watching him pitch and watching him hit is a real thing that's happening. Content creators like myself have to believe that what they're watching is actually happening and worth creating videos, tweets, photos, whatever about. And every single one of those trust relationships starts to collapse the second fans start to believe that what they're seeing isn't actually real. The NBA already knows what this looks like. John T. Porter in 2024, the federal investigations into Terry Rozier, Chauncey Billups, and Damon Jones in 2025, the league's credibility in polling has cratered. A 2026 Sacred Heart University survey found the NBA is now the least trusted major American sports league. The NBA spent a decade being the most culturally relevant league in the country, and gambling is actively corroding that in real time. None of these are outside the range of things that Major League Baseball can navigate, but history has also shown that Major League Baseball isn't particularly great at navigating major scandals like this. And after a decade of hard work put into making baseball meet the cultural moment that it's in right now, we're going to see over the course of the next decade whether or not that work was enough to navigate the pressure that's coming for it in this moment.
And I think people maybe are yearning for a simpler time. And I think that, repurposing Americana is both useful, occasionally problematic, powerful, compelling. And I think no sport does a better job of that, of touching that part of the American psyche than baseball does.
Baseball is renting a moment that it didn't design. And its lease, at least for right now, is month to month. And what baseball decides to do next between the labor crisis, the gambling crisis, the fact that Shohei Ohtani is a once-in-a-century type player is going to determine what happens next to the future of the sport. And all of this will decide whether or not baseball's recovery becomes a generation or a blip in the matrix, and whether baseball earns its recovery or wastes it altogether is the only question that matters for the future of the sport. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments.
リー氏の動画には何百ものコメントが寄せられています。驚くほど多くのコメントが大谷愛を語っています。一部を訳して紹介します。この復活の波で新しくファンになった一人です。2024年に大谷翔平のおかげで MLB を見始めました。もともとスポーツオタクではあったんですが、野球は遅くて退屈だと思い込んでいました。でも大谷の7億ドル契約を見て、これだけ稼げるスポーツなら、きっと何か面白いところがあるはずだ、と思いました。人生で最高の決断の一つでした。このスポーツは本当に素晴らしいし、歴史、ロアが深くて、アナリティクスの重視も大好きです。これだけ魅力が詰まってるのに、野球にロマンチックにならないなんて無理じゃないですか。大谷が僕が再び戻ってきた理由です。私は生涯フィリーズファンで、1994年のロックアウト以降、本当に野球から離れてしまっていました。俺はオランダ人で、これまで人生で野球なんて一切興味なかったんだけど、大谷のオーラがやばすぎて、この数週間で完全に恋に落ちちゃったよ。自分は大谷を見るために野球に復帰したんだけど、本当に再び夢中になったのは WBC のラストアウト、大谷翔平対トラウトの場面を見てからだ。あれはマジでエピックだった。最近、子供と一緒に LA で野球の試合を見に行ったんだけど、マンシーが3本ホームラン打って、そのうち1本が決勝ホームランだったよ。やっぱり最高のスポーツだわ。 大谷翔平、それが野球にまた戻ってきた理由だ。インド出身で、僕らの国はクリケットに生きてるようなところで、他のスポーツなんて全く知らなかったんだけど、たまたま YouTube で2023年 WBC 決勝の大谷対トラウトを見てしまったんだ。野球のルールも何も知らないのに、あの興奮はすごかった。本当に鳥肌が立ったよ。子供の頃は、兄と父が19世紀から続くスポーツを見てるのをバカにしてたんだけど、最近になって、それが実は野球のめちゃくちゃかっこいいところの一つだって気づいた。特に、現代のテクノロジーがどんどんつまらなくなって、なんか悪く感じるようになってきた中で、こうやって伝統に寄りかかれるのは最高だと思う。あと、大谷翔平がめっちゃ可愛くて、かっこよくて、チャーミングなのも大きかった。野球選手ってこんなに魅力的なんだって改めて思わせてくれた。45歳の夏に、大谷翔平のおかげで野球を見始めました。彼が MLB 史上最大の契約を結んだというニュースを聞いて知ったんです。最初は TikTok で大谷のホームラン動画を見るようになって、それからハイライト動画を見るようになり、最後には全試合をライブで見るようになりました。今僕たちが見ているのは、時代に一度、人生に一度、世代に一度、なんてレベルじゃない。大谷翔平で今起きていることは、ほぼ確実に、史上に一度の才能だと思う。彼が引退した後、誰が変われるって言うんだ。大谷は本当に多くのファンをこのスポーツに呼び込んでくれた。新規ファンも、僕みたいに一度興味を失って離れてたフル株ファンも。オーストラリア出身なんですが、ここでは野球はめちゃくちゃマイナーなスポーツです。大谷翔平のおかげで興味を持って、今ではすっかり好きになりました。今年35歳で初めて実際にプレイし始めたんです。上手くなんて全然できないけど、このスポーツが本当に大好きです。